Hey team, Luke at Crusader Machining. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how we went from blank, ugly, disgusting chuck jaws to this. What were my steps to go from jaws off the shelf to jaws made to hold this exact part, step by step, how I did it. And a lot of that pertains to a short that I posted up to Facebook, and I got a bunch of comments on there saying, you should use a plug. You should be clamping on something. They're 100% right. Definitely should. And I was, if you go back and look at the videos, a little plug down in the bottom. But I'm going to go through all that in the video. So if you're interested in seeing how I made these chuck jaws, follow along. Let's go. So you can see way down here, I have this plug. So I am clamped down. Quite a few people said it when I posted the video up to Facebook and TikTok. I am clamping on a plug. This plug is 1 inch diameter. I keep a whole bunch of plugs, I'll show you, sitting in a pan. Those plugs in the pan are for jaws. Various sizes, and a bunch of them are nominal, 1 inch, 3/4, 1.5, whatever. So what I didn't show was that I took my boring bar that's down here, I'll show in a minute, opened the jaws all the way up, bored this hole to where I could get the 1 inch plug in while I'm roughly in the middle of the stroke. And I have this window, shucks, you can't see this. There's a window on the chuck jaws, or I'm sorry, on the chuck. I want to try to be in that center window, which I am. Little on the high side, but it's fine. I put this boring bar in here. I'm going to touch it off on here. So I'm going to set my geometry on my bore at X 1 inch. Or when I'm running my program to bore my jaws, I try to never do it using jog. I always want to try to write a program. That way I can control everything. I don't make a mistake. Die chem. My busted old thing of die chem. I'm going to mark this inside here as blue, so that way when I'm getting ready to teach my boring bar, I'll know exactly when I get in there. So let's touch off that bore. Hopefully y'all can see that. Do not want to make a mistake when you're in this mode here. And I like to make sure it's free spinning so I know that I'm not accidentally touching anything, which I've done. And I'm going to wait for that bluing just to wear away. See, the bluing wore off. Yep. So we is right there. Let's take a closer look. I'm touching on that 1 inch. Go to my offset. Geometry. I'm not on the upper. I'm on the lower. Tool 9. X 1.0 measure. Now I'm going to slowly bring it out and I'm going to touch it off on Z. And I'm going to touch it on Z the same way except without the die chem. Just scraped it. So now my boring bar is taught X and Z0. Now we'll write the program to bore those jaws. Coffee break. Before we run that through, to go to actually in my offset, my geometry page on my bore, and offset that down -50 and X. I want to make these jaws the first time perfect. I don't want to have to make them goof up and have to bring the teeth down and do it again or get another set of jaws. I want to make them perfect the first time. So tool 9X and -0.050, input plus, execute. So I'll set my tool down 50. So I'm going to program in 2.5 inch, but it's actually going to be 2.450. And then I'm going to slowly open my X up to get it so my part just wants to slip in. So a lot of people are saying, if I'm going to write my program, how far down in Z am I going to go? Well, you could do this. Grab your calipers. In Z, I'm about 4.7 deep. What I want to do, I want to find out exactly how deep I am. So I'm going to go to my MDI, call up that tool with the geometry, call up the tool and the offset. And I'm going to go in there and do the best I can to kiss that face and see exactly where I'm at. So my program, as I said before, will be what we call in the industry dead nuts. I'm going to do the same thing, get a little die chem. I can actually see my tool reflecting, helps me to know how close I am. There we go, we can see that line. That's my Z ending point in my program. Go to my position page. I'm at Z negative 4.661. One last thing we have to do before we write that program. Remember, these jaws were used for a different job, and I don't know what diameter they are. So I have to know what diameter that's at. Because my slug is 3.5 inch diameter, so I got to make those jaws to about 3.499. A few rough passes and finish passes, or a few rough passes and then my finish, but I have to know where this is at. Here's how we do that. I'm going to go into MDI again, call up my tool, T0909. I'm going to bring it up close to the jaws. I'm going to do again with that layout fluid to see where my position is at. Should I have marked them before to save me this time? Probably. Will I mark them after this is done? Probably not. But it's just the way I roll. Down in X. I'm going to feel it probably before I see it. Yep. And you can see the line right there. Yep. That line is my scribe line. So we're going to go back to our position page. Position 3.346 is right there. And here's my program, tool 9, GOZ.1, X3.3. I'm going to take a cut in without removing material, feed down to 4.661 with a taper of 10 thousandths at a feed of 5. Then when I get to the bottom, I'm going to go up to X1, wrap it out to Z, and go home. Now, if everything is done correctly, I'm not even going to touch the chuck jaw. I'm just proving out my program. We're still working our way down. We are finishing up our tool path now. Just to be clear, why I added a 10 thousandths taper on those jaws is my experience says I'm going to need about a 5 to 10 thousandths taper. When these chuck jaws close, they don't close perfectly down. When they close, the back closes and the front flares out like this. So if I were to bore it straight and I clamp my part, I'm not touching at the front of these chuck jaws. You'd be able to sneak a piece of paper in there for sure. Trust me, it's happened to me a lot. So I'm going to put a taper. And why 10 thousandths? These are almost 5-inch long jaws. 10 thousandths is plenty of a taper, but I do not think it's excessive. Let's move up that program and make some chips. All right, now we're cutting. Make sure your tool is touched right. Keep the door closed. Safety glasses on regardless. Working our way down. And I also adjusted that Z depth. Instead of 4.661, I'm 4.680. So we walked that last one in, and we got a little bit of chatter, but I'm not even really worried about that much at all. I'm going to adjust my speeds and feeds. I had to adjust this depth, and the reason why my 4.7 depth wasn't correct, I was measuring down here, and there must have been some sort of taper on the flat. So I'm going to keep working my diameter up, kick up my feed rate, lower my speed, and let's move this puppy in. And just in case my math is way off, I'm going to double check it with a slug. And unfortunately, this takes quite a while. I'm running 250 SFM, feeding at 0.007 per rev. But we are moving at a snail's pace. We are approaching the bottom. This is not a race to see who can make the jaws the fastest. Keep it on single block. Keep your feed and speed lower than what you have to. And now we are getting there. All of my die chem is off the bottom. So I know I have a nice flat bottom that's perpendicular to my jaws. The bore of my jaws is perpendicular. Now I just have to open up that diameter so my part can slide in, and we are bada bing, bada boom. So our jaws are looking just about done now. But one last thing I like to check for, you don't want to make it, if you make the jaws and your part goes in, you made them oversized. What experience will tell us is it almost just wants to bite in on two of the sides and almost go in, and then we know we're good. Now time will tell. Moment of judgment. Take out my plug, and I am not gonna let that drop down like I did. I don't clean out of any chips. Uno, dos, tres. See if that part goes in, slides in. Jaws are done. And what I want you to notice here, we're gonna get a close-up. If I would not have put that taper in, I would have a gap right at the front. But look at all that contact. And I know that from experience. I ended up putting 8 thousandths, not 10. Because when the jaw closes like this. It doesn't close all the way down. That is our jaws completo. So I hope that you guys liked that video. That was how I made those chuck jaws, basically step by step. I gotta make my sub side that I'm in the middle of doing right now. The only bit of advice that I could continue along with that is making sure that your X0 is set on your boring bar is probably one of the more challenging aspects of it. And there's a couple different ways to get there. I set it more as a reference and then dial in the jaws as I'm machining them to get them to be a nice fit as this is. But that would be the one part that I'd say is the most challenging, especially for beginners. But if you got any questions or comments, drop them down below. How do you make chuck jaws? Do you have any different tips or tricks that you would like to share with others? If you like the video, subscribe to my channel. Consider sharing it to others that could gain some value from it. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like it. And of course, drop a comment. Let's get the conversation going down in the comments. Luke with Crusader Machining, signing out, and we'll see you next time.